Shalom, everyone, and welcome back. This is Rabbi Leider of Chabad Center of University City, bringing to you my twice-a-week videos. I hope you're enjoying them. Many of you are telling me you are following them and enjoying them. I'm very happy to hear that. A great philosopher once said, "More than the Jews have kept the Sabbath has kept the Jews." How true that is. In Hebrew, we call the Sabbath Shabbat or Shabbos. And why is it that Shabbos has kept the Jews Jewish, in other words? Well, in ancient days, the Greeks and the Romans said that the Jews were not going to amount to anything because they work only 6 days a week. And you can't build empires if you only work 6 days a week and you take a day off. So they thought we were not going to amount to anything. Well, they were proven wrong. Where are the Greeks today? Where are the Romans today? And where are the Jews today? Obviously, we're doing very, very well. And today, they don't talk in terms of one day a week, vacation, day of rest. They talk about 2 or 3 days of vacation. I know some dentists who only work for 1 or 2 days a week. But the fact is that creative leisure is something that a lot of people are talking about today. In Europe, they have many days of leisure. And leisure, the study of leisure, is becoming a topic that is being studied and analyzed in universities today. How do how do we deal with our leisure? What do we do at our leisure? The value of rest. We know that if you keep working the land and you farm it, it'll eventually give out nothing. It needs a day of rest as well, or it needs more than a day of rest. Certainly, the sabbatical year took care of that and gave it some time to replenish its nutrients. We also need to replenish our nutrients by 1 day a week, taking off, spending time with our family. It's impossible for a Jew to be a workaholic because you can't work 7 days a week. You need to take off. And on Friday, which is our Shabbos, Friday night and Shabbos, Friday night, you can't just work right until sunset and then expect to have a Shabbos. You need to take off before that. Get ready, get dressed, prepare good food to eat. And what is not to like about Shabbos? Enjoyable food, delicious food, and wonderful companionship, and our family around us, not going into a car, not using all of our gadgets, our cell phones. How is it possible to get along without our precious cell phones and our smartphones? Well, on Shabbos we don't do that. How is a person who smokes being able to take a day off from smoking if they have an addict, if they have an addiction? How can they do that? Miraculously, they find it's not a problem. And that's why perhaps many people stopped smoking, because they thought, if I can stop smoking for 1 day a week, I can stop smoking for 7 days a week. And that's become very effective. And what do you do about law students and people who in high professions who are training in such demanding circumstances? How can they take a day off? Many years ago, we had a law student who came at the beginning of his studies, and he said to me, "Rabbi, you're going to see me a lot this year. I'm going to come to shul every Shabbos." And I said, "Right, I've heard that before. And I challenge you, take off for Shabbos, don't do any reading, don't do any studying, and spend Shabbos quietly as Shabbos." And I challenge you to do that. He said, "I will do that, and I'm going to show you I'm going to do that." Well, over the years, I've had a lot of students who have promised me that, and it never happened. I saw them at the beginning of the 3 years, and I saw them at the end of the 3 years. But this fellow was different. This fellow decided he's going to take my advice. He's actually going to listen to me. And that's what he did. Friday came, I saw him in shul. He joined us for Shabbos meals, or he made his own Shabbos meals. He didn't do any reading, no studying. During the entire 3 years, he was at the University of San Diego, one of the finest law schools in Southern California. And guess what? At the end of 3 years, he graduated at the very top of his class. And I asked him, "What is the secret for your success?" And he said to me, "Shabbos." Why? Because while everyone else was working 7 days a week, they were exhausted. They couldn't think clearly. They needed a rest from their intense studying. Me, I had a rest every week. So on Saturday night and Sunday, I got back to my studies with a tremendous sense of renewed energy. And that energy kept me at the top of my class. And it made me the man I am today and the lawyer that he became after that. We all need a day of rest. We all need a day to close the shop, to close the office, to come home and spend time with our families, with our spouse, and really spend the day in synagogue, come and pray to God, and really enjoy a day of leisure, a day of rest in a beautiful way, having wonderful words of Torah and coming to shul, listening to the rabbi speak, and hearing the Torah reading, and all of these things. There's nothing like it. And because of it, those who have kept the Shabbos indeed have stayed Jewish. They really have. Those who have abandoned the Shabbos, unfortunately, they've intermarried and they're not Jewish anymore because they don't see anything in it. Let's take that day of rest. Let's take God's challenge, who is telling us, Jews, listen to me. This is the way to go. This is the way that you will not only remain Jews, but you'll also remain faithful to your spouses, to your children. You'll do well in business and in your businesses, because after all, we need to clear our minds once a week. And certainly that is a very, very important thing. The entire world this coming week is spending a Shabbos together by challah baking, by spending Shabbos together with their friends in a socially distanced way. And the entire world is being challenged this week through the Shabbos Project to come together entirely and spend Shabbos together. Our sages tell us that if all the Jews will spend two Shabbosim together, one after the other, Mashiach will certainly come. And I believe that, because if that happens, my friends, Mashiach is already there. So I challenge you also, let's spend Shabbos together. Do as much as you can. Try as best as you can. Once I had a young man who came to me and I told him that he should start keeping Shabbos. He said, well, it's too difficult for him. He works, he does this, he does that. I said to him, why don't you spend 1 hour on Saturday keeping Shabbos? No phones, no electricity that you're going to turn on and off, no cars. You're not going anywhere. 1 hour on Saturday. Try it. See, the week after he came to me, he said it was the most beautiful hour he ever spent. Next week, he's going to try 2 hours. And so it went until eventually he was doing it for 24 hours, 25 hours. And eventually he kept the whole Shabbos. Why don't we try it that way? Try just one experience of Shabbos. Try a Friday night meal. Get the family together and say, we're going to come together. No cell phones, no music, videos, nothing in our ears. We'll just sit around. We'll have a nice meal. We'll make a nice chicken soup and gefilte fish if we like that. And just a lovely meal, just the family sitting around the table, talking and being like that. Let's light the women will light the candles before dark, and the men will say Kiddush, and it'll be the most beautiful Shabbos. Let's try it this one Shabbos, and you let me know through your comments how it went. And I promise you that the comments will be, wow, I never believed that it could be like this. Just one Shabbos, and we'll all be free. Just one Shabbos, come and join with me. Let's sing and dance as never before, as the song goes. So I want to wish you all a very beautiful, good Shabbos, and we hope to hear from you. Candlelighting Friday night in San Diego is at 4:30 p.m. Good Shabbos, good Shabbos, good Shabbos.